Sheep breeding business, relevance and prospects. Sheep breeding is the most common in the Caucasus, but this business can be opened from scratch and in the middle zone. In the article we will consider how to start sheep breeding as a business for a novice farmer. Advantages of sheep breeding. Let's list the following advantages of sheep breeding. Small initial investments, availability of feed. Sheep are unpretentious, well tolerate frost, have strong immunity, do not need care. High profitability. If you build a strategy correctly, in 2 to 3 years the invested funds will pay off and sheep breeding as a business will begin to generate income. Good demand for goods. Rapid cultivation and breeding. The ram gains about 100 kilograms per year. And females bear offspring twice a year. Low competition. The sheep breeding niche is not even half full. You can get a grant for agriculture and support from the state, low interest rates for the loan and a preferential tax rate, not in all regions. Choosing a format. Like any other business, sheep breeding as a business for a farmer requires registration of an individual entrepreneur or KFH, peasant farming. In both cases, it is necessary to issue a veterinary certificate, as not every meat seller is ready to cooperate with the farmer without documents. Also, many businessmen choose the format of private economy, but this requires special conditions. The plot should be no more than 2.5 hectares. Most likely, this will not be enough for such an activity. The advantages are that the private household does not require registration, certificates, reporting to the tax authorities, etc. Preparation of a business plan. In order to have a clear algorithm of actions and an idea of what to do, as well as how much money is needed for this, a business plan for sheep breeding is drawn up, which prescribes all stages, possible risks, approximate calculations, starting and monthly. Market analysis. The sheep breeding thread as a business is not filled. The direction is quite promising, and in the field of animal breeding demand always exceeds supply. Sheep breeding is most common in the Republic of Dagestan, Kalmykia and Stavropol Krai. Sheep breeding is not so popular in other regions. And in these regions, it is private farming that is developed. It makes sense to engage in sheep breeding in southern Russia and in the middle zone. It is important for a novice farmer to save money, so it is worth choosing regions with fertile soil where healthy and juicy grass grows. Organizational part. Sheep breeding as a business for a beginner requires the following steps. Register a business and choose a taxation system. Find the right land and equip everything to keep sheep. Form a staff. Choose staff. Choose and buy sheep. Prepare an advertising campaign. Start a business. Registration of activities. As we wrote above, in home sheep breeding for business, you can choose KFH or IE. The next step is to obtain the permission of the SES, and if it is planned to build pens, then also from the fire service. Taxation is best to choose a simplified one. In order to avoid risks, we advise you to insure animals. Although sheep are considered unpretentious and resistant to diseases, the loss of livestock cannot be ruled out, and insurance will help to avoid bankruptcy. Search for suitable land for farms and pastures. For the first time, you can rent land instead of buying it right away. Firstly, rent will save initial investments, and secondly, if for some reason the activity has to be closed, with leased land to do it much faster. The area is best chosen, as we said above, with good and fertile soil. Information on yield indicators can be found in the Union of Livestock Breeders of Russia. In addition, they can help with calculating the optimal number of otara. There should also be a pen on the territory where animals can hide from bad weather, and warm up in the cold season. A bourgeois stove is suitable for heating. There should also be cries and access to food in the room. Personnel. At the initial stage, the duties of a shepherd, herd, administrator and zoo technician can be assumed. But the functions of an auxiliary worker and veterinarian should be delegated. The auxiliary worker takes care of animals, feeds, monitors the pen. A veterinarian is needed only if necessary, so it is not necessary to hire such a specialist in the staff. In addition, if you plan to sell wool, you need to hire employees for a haircut. Selection of sheep. When opening meat sheep breeding as a business, the choice of sheep is a very important task, since each breed is different. Please note that meat is in greater demand than wool, so the choice should be chosen on meat breeds. These include Romanov, Edelbyevskaya, Romney March, Gorky, Kurdyuknaya, Hisser. The Romanov breed of sheep is ideal for beginners. Animals of this suit are unpretentious to frost, grow fast, quite prolific. The first offspring of sheep of this breed can be brought in 6 months, and females give it twice a year. You can buy sheep of different breeds and choose a more popular one. The price for lamb varies from 3 to 50,000 rubles. Breeding animals are more expensive. It is better to buy sheep from suppliers with a veterinary certificate. You can even choose from several sellers to prevent related crossing. Marketing. The sheep business plan must necessarily contain the marketing part. To determine the sales prices of products, you need to familiarize yourself with the offers of competitors and choose the average cost. For more accurate calculations, it is necessary to determine the cost of your products. In order to simplify your task, you can invite a specialist. A markup is added to the amount that will be obtained, which is about 30%. If you plan to launch sheep breeding as a business, we advise you to study the records of already established entrepreneurs, read thematic forums and other internet resources. Procurement and sale of goods. It is possible to establish sales channels already when purchasing the first batch of sheep. At first, customers are most often shops, supermarkets, cafes, restaurants and other catering outlets. It is necessary to conclude a contractual relationship with buyers, which indicates the cost, terms and obligations of the parties. Implementation can take place in several ways. The first is the sale of live sheep for slaughter, the second is the sale of cut carcasses. The first option is more suitable for beginners, but it also loses in value. Over time, it is more profitable to purchase slaughter systems and sell finished meat. Financial investments. Financial calculations should take into account such expenses as rent, purchase of animals, equipment, feed, salaries for employees. It is worth considering that the profit will bring a herd in which 100 or more heads. Whether sheep breeding as a business is beneficial can be understood by studying the numbers presented below. So, approximate costs for 150 heads. Purchase of sheep 450,000 rubles. Land lease 100 hectares 100,000 rubles per year. Feed 150,000 rubles per year. Salary of an auxiliary employee 200,000 rubles per year. Additional costs repair, veterinarian services, transport, etc. 100,000 rubles per year. Special equipment 100,000 rubles per year. Total 650,000 one-time expenses, 450,000 annual expenses. Remember that the state provides special preferential programs for agriculture. Approximate profit. If we take the calculation based on 150 heads, 50 will be sold as meat, another 50 as a living commodity and 50 will remain for breeding.